words out of it. Actual name is Benefits of Installing Azure SQL VM IaaS Agent Extension. So I took 2 words out of it, but still it's a long name. uh, Otherwise, if I just say IaaS Agent Extension, it's just very big thing. So I just want to talk about the benefits of this particular extension. Um, so I have I have an intro slide for myself. So let me move my slide deck here. This is something about me. So as um, Ras introduced me that I was the user group leader of Chicago first. Now I'm also in Chicago, but I manage the suburban SQL Server user group with Lori. And I do a lot of other volunteering stuff. I teach at TEALS. That's a Microsoft philanthropic effort through code.org to teach high school students um, computer science principles. So I do that every Friday, 1 hour helping the high school teacher. Um, and then I talk at user group like this one. So that also is my passion. And to my customers, I help them unblock their migration journey if they are blocked somewhere in upgrade their journey, high availability, disaster recovery, and tuning, query tuning, SQL Server tuning. Uh, so all my Azure experience started from when I joined Microsoft about 2.5 years ago. So I am getting there, I'm getting towards learning more and more every day. So current my passion is learning more about Azure Synapse Analytics, and that's where I am focusing as my professional growth. So that's all about me. Today's agenda, we are going to talk about what is IaaS agent extension, um, and then how we register this extension. Then we will talk about the benefits, and most of the talk is in the demo today. So let's go. And as I was mentioning, I was talking to Ross in the beginning that I have messed up while I was practicing my demo. So we'll see, I mean, most of the demo we worked, a small part is messed up, but I will explain it so it should be clear. So the next 2 slides is not is not in the agenda, but I have added it just a few minutes before I joined in. And I think that would be, I thought that if somebody doesn't know what IaaS is, right? And just like, Ras said that he doesn't know what IaaS is, but I'm sure he knows that. But, just to explain everyone just in 5 minutes what we are talking about here before I go into the extension. So Azure has SQL product in Azure, and we have 3 different flavors in Azure. There, so one is the Azure SQL VM, another is Azure SQL Database, and then the third one is Azure SQL Managed Instance. So Managed Instance and Azure SQL DB, we both call them as a PaaS service. PaaS means PaaS, Platform as a Service, because we manage everything for you. Uh, we manage everything for DBA. And I'll talk about what everything means. And IaaS is, and the Azure SQL VM is IaaS a platform, is infrastructure as a service, IaaS. And so to understand that different services, these 3 different services, let's take the example of a pizza. There are different ways how you can consume pizza, right? You can bake from the scratch, or you can get it from the supermarket, frozen ones, and you just come home and bake it. Or you can, you know, order the pizza and somebody will deliver you your pizza, or you can go to the restaurant and consume your pizza. So there are many ways you can consume, but these 4 ways you keep in mind. When we go to the next slide here, when you are making a pizza from the scratch, you are using your oven, your electricity, right? You're putting your toppings on it. I mean, you are responsible for everything and you are doing everything. So this is an example of your on-prem SQL server. and how you translate this example to the on-prem SQL Server, because you will have a data center, right? Which you have paid for. You have some hardware, some VMware um, uh, machines, right, on which you will create your on which you will create your VM, and then you will install SQL Server on it. And then if there are any updates, on the SQL Server, Windows operating system, or any firmware upgrades, you are responsible for it. Any uh, patches that comes, security patches or any product patches, you are responsible to apply it. Backups, you are responsible, right? How to schedule it. Encryption, everything, everything you are responsible. So this is your on-prem. You're baking the pizza from the scratch. Next is the infrastructure service. So that means you have a VM in Azure cloud. So you don't own the data center. You don't own the hardware. You are not responsible for firmware upgrades, right? Security upgrades. Um, on the hardware portion, but you are still responsible for the VM. That means either Linux operating system or Windows operating system. You have to manage the upgrades and the SQL Server, you install it, and all that good stuff. So this is like you bought the frozen pizza and you are baking at home. It's like bake and take. The third is the platform as a service. So in that, you are only responsible for serving the table because somebody delivered your pizza and everything was done for you. And you, however you want to set your table, just set the table and consume the pizza. So you are not responsible for even the VM. You're not responsible for the disks or the operating system. Only thing you are responsible for, either just a single database, the resources are assigned to a single database, that is Azure SQL DB, or a single instance of SQL Server. Um, it's just like a managed instance, we call it. So in managed instance, you can have multiple databases that can talk to each other. Yeah, right. And Azure single databases are single databases. Just if you just want to separate, you don't want that particular database is belong to a particular application which has its own characteristics, how it works and how it manages. You want a separate database. So that's why. So that was a brief introduction of different services. So what we are talking today is about the infrastructure as a service, Azure SQL VM. So all the benefits that PaaS service have, that it does the automatic of your uh, key your backups, your patching, your encryption. All this is done for you, right? Uh, these benefits we want to provide to our customers who are using infrastructure as a service. So that is what this extension is about. So let's jump into the IaaS agent extension. So it's a free add-on service. So we don't charge anything to our customer. We are providing a white glove service, handing them on a platter all these uh, uh, all these features that are available in PaaS, right? So PaaS, people are paying for those feature. It's not like they're paying for the feature. It's part of the cost of the PaaS service, right? But the main thing that you get is that you can manage your Azure SQL VM through the Azure portal. Before, you have to do all these management stuff by remote desktoping into the Azure SQL VM, and you can do those things from here, like setting up a high availability group. You have to go. Now you can manage it from the portal. So that's one example. Um, so client can choose to opt in. So we don't want everybody to, we just don't want it to install for everyone. Um, But if you are creating, there are several ways you can create Azure SQL VM in an Azure. Either you just create a Windows VM and then you bring your own uh, image, or you have your own license and then you have your own image. You you install your own SQL Server, right? Another way is to use the marketplace image to create the Azure SQL VM. So that way Windows and or the Linux or the operating system and the SQL Server are installed together. So in that case, IaaS agent extension is already installed when you are picking up the image from the marketplace. And I'll show you that also. But if you're installing on your own, right, on an Azure VM, then you have to install this extension to get the benefits out of it. So it's providing an automated management from the Azure portal, and does lot of PaaS-like benefits that we offer to our PaaS customers. Now our VM customers can also get that benefit. Okay, so there are different modes of IaaS extension. One is the lightweight mode, and another is the full mode, and the third one is the no agent mode. So let's talk about the no agent mode because we are not going to talk about it anymore. So this is only reserved for SQL Server 2008 and 2008 R2 on Windows 2008. People who have not upgraded, they are out of support. So Microsoft gave them a way out that if you bring your um, SQL Server 2008 and 2008 R2 to Azure VM, we will provide the security patches and updates. So for them, if you want to install the IaaS agent extension, you use the option no agent. So one that's the mode for them. So let's come back to the lightweight mode. So this is not correct. You know that it was correct like before September that lightweight mode did not require the restart of SQL Server, but full mode would require. But we have removed this restriction now. Now the full mode does not even require the restart of SQL Server. So these points does not make sense here. But I left it here because excuse me, I wanted to explain it because it's still recent change, right? Just happened in September. What lightweight mode does, it only lets you manage the license type and the additions of SQL Server. You cannot change the disk. You cannot add disks to your VM from the portal. You can do that. You have to go and RDP and do all that management stuff. Um, so lightweight means it only allows you to do only two things, just the addition upgrade or the license type changes. Um, and the full mode lets you do all the things, and we are going to talk about that. What features are available that you can manage from the portal, right? And there is no memory impact. You know what happens behind the scene when you are installing the lightweight mode? There is one Windows service gets created, and it runs as a Windows service. When you install full mode, it runs two services in the Windows services. If you check that, I'm going to show you that. And in full mode, it will take a little bit of CPU cycles, but it's almost negligible, right? And then uh, in full mode, you will get an SA account is get created in your SQL Server to do all that management stuff from the portal. Let's go and uh, so it's another lightweight mode. I want to have another point. So there are several methods. Let me go to the next slide. I think I will cover it there. Yeah, this is the announcement. Yes, you see 9.1 starting September, registering with SQL as extension in full mode no longer requires restarting of the SQL Server service. Okay. So first thing that you can verify the status of your extension, that extension is installed or not. This is the name of the extension, SQL IaaS extension. And when you are in the VM blade, you go under the setting, under the extensions. And if you see this, this means that agent is installed, right? Um, Okay, let's talk about the benefits of IaaS agent. Let me see. Let me just briefly see all my slides just to see where I'm covering. If I'm not, then I'm going back. Okay, so it's not covered. So let me go back. What I wanted to say, I'll say it here first. Yeah. So another thing is that when you do the automatic registration of this agent, that means you enable it at the subscription level. When you do that, it install any existing VM or any new VMs coming in, it is going to install this agent on them in the lightweight mode. So we still want customers to make the conscious decision and just issue one command. It's a PowerShell command and just upgrade it to the full mode. No restart is required, right? But we still, automatic registration will install the agent in the lightweight mode, and customers can then decide to turn it into full mode. Any questions anyone has? All right, I just stick in this two. There are two slides. These are our marketing sales slide. Just because it's not a technical slide, just because I find it's easier to show that what benefits are there. So I mean, it of course is going to save you the cost, because the Azure hybrid benefit that you can bring in, the of course, if you don't install this agent, still you can use it. But the process of this using this your Azure hybrid benefit is little difficult, because it has to go through the email and everything. But if you have this agent installed, you can do everything in the portal. Azure hybrid benefit is benefit that you bring from on-prem to Azure with your software assurance benefits. If you have purchased the software assurance for your SQL Server and Windows licenses, both of them, Windows and SQL Server, you can bring it on-prem and you get a heavy discount using that Azure hybrid benefit. um, Enhance security, because we are going to patch it for you. If you forget or something, you can decide, we let you decide which day of the week, what time you want to start your patching, how long the maintenance should go. There are some controls that are available, but it's we do that for you. um, an HADR license also. So if you have software assurance, you get a one free HA node, which is not readable, just there for failover. It's free. And also you will get the free DR node, async AAG. So these benefits you can apply right in the portal, so you don't have to pay for your license. So it's very easy way of managing these type of stuff. Simplify management. So storage, you want to increase your data disk or your log disk, you want to add a disk, you can do all from the portal. Another marketing slide is, so what we can do is, it's inventory management. Yeah, this is the very important thing. So from one dashboard, when this agent is installed, you can see the inventory of all your SQL Server VMs, and you can see what uh, SQL Server version is installed, what Windows version is installed, um, what type of management, IaaS agent management mode is lightweight, full, or no agent. You can see everything from the one dashboard. If this agent is not installed, you will not be able to see your SQL Server in there. So that's a great benefit. Flexible licensing, we talked about it. There are three modes: pay as you go, Azure hybrid benefit, and HADR, right? In-place addition upgrades you can do. Automated storage management. Yeah, you can, data log temp file, we talked about that. And centralized administration from one location, which is Azure portal. Um, and deploy SQL Server with pre-configured best practices. Automated backup. So just like in PaaS and in PaaS services, backups is done automatically. So you have an option, to config to have your backups done automatically. But you have also option not to opt in and you do your own backups like you do it. In PaaS service, you don't have an option to do your own backup. All right. And yeah, you have an option to do the copy backup in managed instance, but it's not like so you don't break the chain that Azure the backup is doing. What is the backup schedule in Azure? It's full backup once a week and differential backup um, once daily or every 12 hours, depending on the size of your database and the activities, and transactional log backups every 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of the database and the activity. Um, so you can choose with the IaaS extension in Azure SQL VM, you can choose the daily backup also. In PaaS, it's just once a week backup. And then you have uh, differential backup and transaction log, like I mentioned. This is about marketing slide. So what manageability options you can do in the lightweight mode, you can only change the license type, and also the addition of SQL Server is not shown here. Um, and in the full mode, you have all the options available. See, if I'm going back again. So when I'm showing you here, other features are not available to be managed from here, from the portal. Only thing you can manage in the lightweight mode is the license type and the addition upgrade. All other things are available as in the full mode. It's just that you have not configured it yet. These two are configured, but others are not, but they are available, right? And also it's the same things are available here. You see high availability also in preview, but you can manage it from here. Okay, how you would register this extension. So there are several ways to do it. First is the automatic registration, and then you can do a single VM registration and bulk register multiple VMs. So in this the demo that I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you these two. We will do the single VM registration and automatic registration. Bulk VM registration is just the PowerShell statement which we are going to use for single VM. You just add multiple, subscription in there. So it's registering multiple subscription or multiple VMs. Is just playing with the PowerShell. So we will look at these two methods in the demo. So again, if you are deploying the Azure SQL Server VM from the Azure Marketplace, then your Azure portal automatically registers the SQL Server VM with this extension. And however, if you choose to self-install SQL Server on Azure Virtual Machine, then you have to install this agent manually. So time for demo. And after demo, let's go here. All right, so let's go to my subscription resource group, DA demo. I will just sort it by what I'm going to show you here is that I have several virtual machines here. So we are going to play with these two. So DEA target 1 is the one that is self-installed, means I use the marketplace image. And DEA target 2 VM is the one that I self-installed it. I installed the SQL Server after I had the Azure VM with the Windows on it. Right? So IaaS agent extension is installed here. It's not installed here. So to be able to install the IaaS agent, first you have to go into the subscription and in the resource provider, and you have to make sure that SQL virtual machine is a resource provider is registers. This one, Microsoft SQL virtual machine at the subscription level. So this is a one-time thing. You might not have to do it. Your administrator, whoever has created a subscription, they might have already done it. So this is the first thing. If it's not there, then you go into your resource group, and this is the resource group we are going into, and our VM. again sorted by VM. Okay, so so this one has the agent installed, right? So if I go here, you can see, let's see the extension first. So you can see the SQL IaaS agent extension is, yeah, provisioning failed. What I was saying that, I messed up in the demo when I was practicing before. This is what happened here. So, but this one is the from the marketplace image. It should have, I removed it and I tried to install it and I messed it up. But yeah, the IaaS agent is installed. Um, and another thing you can see from here is SQL Server configuration option. This option only you see when the IaaS agent extension is installed, because that's how you are going to manage SQL Server from the portal. This is portal, right? So you're managing from the portal here. Manage SQL Server virtual machines. Yeah, so it's, I messed it up, so that's why you're not seeing anything, even not even the license type, right? So yeah, I'll come back here. Sorry about that, but I'll explain it, right? So this was supposed to be the full, uh, when you install from the marketplace, it installs the IaaS agent with the full mode, in the full mode. So all of the features are available, right? So this all should be there. And then another thing, you see we can manage the SQL Server. So this is SQL virtual machine. This is different than the virtual machine. So let me go back. I'll show you here. I'm in the virtual machine here. DA target one virtual machine. Now I am going into this managing virtual machine. So this is my SQL virtual machine, because these features are a SQL Server feature. So let's go back. Let's go back to my another VM, this DA target 2 VM. So this is the one that I installed the SQL Server, not from the marketplace. If I go to the extension, I'm not seeing SQL IaaS extension here, right? Second thing, I don't see the SQL Server configuration here. So I cannot manage that VM, the SQL Server on that VM from the portal. Okay. So what we are going to do in this demo, I have a PowerShell script here. I'll connect to my this subscription, my Azure subscription first. If anybody has question, they can ask anytime. Okay. So now I'm just going to look at how many VMs I have. So this is the VMs, right? I'm talking about not the SQL VM. So you saw, I think I have 4 VMs, right? Yeah. So it's giving me in this resource group, in this subscription, I have these 4 VMs. They are in location East US, and these are their VM size. VMs have sizes that you pick up, SKUs. Uh, how many memory is there, how many CPUs are there, based on that there's SKUs. So I have them, and they have what operating system. So this operating system and NIC, network interface, this is what they have. And provisioning state, successful, it's operating, right? It's on. Excuse me. So our VM is DEA target 1 and DEA target 2. Now look at the SQL VM. Where this agent is installed, that's what it's going to show us. So I have 2 VMs, DEA target 1, and you see this license time, everything is messed up here, is not showing here. So this VM and this VM have IaaS agent extension, and I can manage the SQL Server from the portal on these 2 VMs. So if you see the other one, its license type is pay as you go, and it has a developer edition, SQL Server 2017 and Windows Server 2019, and it's a IaaS extension mode is full here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to install the agent on my DEA target 2 VM. It's not there, right? We cannot manage it in the portal. We saw that. So I'm going to. Okay, this variable is just holding this VM's name here. I just want to make sure DA target 2 VM. Okay. And then I'm saying new AZ SQL VM. So new AZ SQL VM means I am creating the blade. The remember that Azure SQL configuration in the portal in this resource group in this location and license type pay as you can. I'm installing it in the lightweight mode. Okay. So before I do that, I want to show you one more thing in the portal before I show you. So I showed you here that when I do get AZ SQL, I'm seeing these two because the IaaS agent is installed. Whether you install it in lightweight mode or full mode, it will appear here. But if there is no IaaS agent extension, it will not show here. So same thing in the Azure portal, there is a view you can look at it. I want to show you here. So just type SQL virtual SQL virtual machines. So that's just type SQL virtual machines. It's going to show you all the virtual machines in this um, in my all my subscription. So I have two subscriptions here. So in this subscription, we have these two DA target one and self-install SQL. So I have two of them. And you can see the same information that you are seeing in the PowerShell here. The same information you are seeing here, you are now seeing in the uh, portal here. You are seeing additional here because this is another subscription, and in that subscription I have another VM which has in agent installed, and you see it's also in full mode. So this is the management type, and this view is great. You can go and manage the view from here, edit the columns. You can add more columns. I don't know what columns are there. You can add maybe owner or project or tags. If you're using tags, you can add that, you know. I mean, I don't have any owner set here. So I have a column here now, but I don't see anything. But yeah, so this is the view you can look everything. So same thing here. Now let's run our command. I'm going to install the agent in lightweight mode on this machine. So this takes couple of minutes. In the meantime, I want to go into this VM and I want to show you that this one does not have the agent installed yet, right? So, okay, it already created that. Okay. So this account gets created SQL IaaS agent extension query um, when you install the agent, and this agent will create this account because it is going to run some services behind the scenes, and this is an essay. So this you have to keep in mind um, that this account is in SA and it needs to be SA because it does all the management stuff from the portal. Another thing you can see, um, services, yeah, that many services open. Okay, I'm showing you the services here, what services get installed here. It's Microsoft, yeah. So other service has not, oh, because we have created in the lightweight mode. So there is only this service running. Let me just refresh it. Yeah. So there's this service is running and it is using this account and SQL IaaS agent extension query. All right. And now let's come back here. Looks like it finished. It's saying it's in lightweight mode. Let's confirm. Let's confirm. Now we see 3. We are seeing DA target 2 VM as well. And pay as you go, and it's in lightweight mode. So see, it took a couple of minutes, and let's go and look at our view and we should be able to see, yeah, this one is available. So you see, you can, if you have hundreds and thousands of servers, Azure SQL VM, and in different subscription, you have just one here view in dashboard. You can just keep track of everything. So suppose you say, oh, pay as you go, I have an Azure hybrid benefit. Why I'm paying for this VM? I should use my benefit. So these things will bring you up and bring you to the surface, right? Then you don't miss any benefit or you don't miss anything. And you say, oh, why this is in lightweight mode? It should be in the full mode or whatever, Another thing, I remember one point, once you are in full mode, you cannot downgrade to lightweight mode. What you have to do is you have to uninstall the agent and then install it again with the lightweight mode. So you have to remember that. Okay, so now we will go ahead and update. So if I want to upgrade from lightweight to full, we don't have to provide the licensed or location this time. We only have to use the command update AZ SQL VM and just SQL management type full. So, and let me, before I go there, I don't want to forget this. So let me go back to our demo and that VM.
Ameena, we have a question in the chat. I don't know if you want to take it now or should we
Yeah,
cover it?
yeah. No.
So the question comes from Varsham and it says, why is the startup type set to manual in services? Shouldn't it be automatic?
Oh, I never noticed it. Let's look at it here. I don't know. It's why it says it's a manual. That's a good question. I mean, I think we don't want to make that decision. We leave it up for the customer to decide, right?
I think part of the reason is that it'll be Azure that'll actually initiate the
Yeah,
service.
yeah.
And so when the VM starts up, it won't automatically be a part of the automatic processes, but the Azure portal or the service in Azure will actually communicate with the VM. And once it's online and ready to go, it will start up the service.
Yeah. So when you have an agent, no, that is another point I was saying. That was bulk registration. No, okay, yeah, no, that is true. It could be that because it portal, if you are if your VM is running, is on, right? You can turn off the VM, you can pause the VM. If it's running, and if you see the SQL Server configuration option um, in the VM blade, then it means that this service is running. If this is not running, you want to. That's what I was going to show you now. You remember?
What happens if you change it to automatic from the services screen?
No, nothing will happen. It will, it's just a
Azure won't
service,
change
right?
it back to manual?
No, I mean, if you once change it to automatic, it will be automatic. It's just like any other Windows service. We can try. Let me show you something. We can try restarting that VM. So we will see, because I don't know the answer to that. We'll see that. So here I am in this VM where we just installed in the lightweight mode, right? So now we see the SQL Server. Before we did not have this configuration. So how we are seeing this, because that service is running, which is making it available in here to see is and manage we can only manage the license type. Others are not available, like I said. So what license type we can change? I can change it to pay as you go, to Azure Hybrid. I'm getting an error because I have a developer edition. Azure Hybrid benefit and HAD are available in other. So suppose I change it to standard. Now I have available, and I have to confirm it. Other thing is I can change if I pay as you go. If I want to, uh, uh, my edition was developer, right? So if I want to change it to standard or enterprise, I can just apply it and I can change it from there. The life is so easy. They made it so easy from here, from the portal, right? So now we go in here and okay, let's do that part with the question was there, right? So let's change it to automatic. Where is it? Automatic. Apply, okay. And I will restart the VM. Okay, so I can do it from the here. I can do it from the portal. Uh, let's do it from the portal. So I come here. Let's just open another one. So that was this one, right? This machine. Yeah, this has the manual one. Okay, so I will go and I will just say restart this VM. Okay, so we'll just have to give a couple of minutes for this to do. Other than that, I don't want to run anything else because if it's restarting, yeah, I can. No, I don't want to show the bulk registration even in that. So let me. I don't. Yeah, we have to do the unregister. How we'll unregister it? I'm going to show you that as well. And here are some resources. What I'm going to do is, let me not share it, and I'll just paste it in there. I don't know if this will work. Let me. Okay, I'm going to put these link in the chat here. Sorry, these are bigger links here, but yeah. Okay. So let's go and see if this is refresh. Okay. And I think we lost the connection because we restarted. So we will connect again. And in the download, I have the RDP file. So I'm connecting. Providing my username as password. So it came here. Right here. Services. Microsoft. Yeah, it became manual again. No, this is not the one. No, sorry. Where is that service when? The service is gone. It takes time, I think it's to come up, maybe. Okay, let's look at the portal, what happened. So I don't see the service here. It is somewhere, always around the shadow copy. It's somewhere always around here. So I don't see it. Okay, so let's go to the portal and refresh it. And if I go to my extension, the extension is there. Okay, and another thing is this blade is here. Virtual machine. Less. So, whenever when I was using in the PowerShell, it takes some time. So let's see if it's taking some time to do it. It's not this one. Okay, let me open this SQL Server here. We'll look at it again. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. What time we have? We have 12 minutes left. Okay. Thanks for asking that question. That because that's going to help me increase my knowledge also, because I didn't thought about that. And I'm thinking it's going to come back. So this is the SQL Server here. And I'm sure the login will be there. So the login is there. It doesn't go away even if you uninstall the agent. It still stays there. That's a pain here. This every time. Service. Okay, let me close this. Let me. Doesn't matter. It's there, but isn't that was the one? No, it is different one, but heartbeat service. I didn't know that, it used to call heartbeat. So what we can do, I have a target DA1, which already had that installed. Let's go there and look at its services. It is, this is one from the marketplace, so it already has the one which has the problem, right? Remember, this one is the problem one. It might have or might not have. I just want to check the name. It's heartbeat service. So yeah, this is a problematic one because I uninstalled it. So this one I messed it up anyways. Okay, so it looks like this is not good. I don't want to confuse you. So it looks like this service is running. It's in manual, but in the portal it is available. You can change the license type, you can change the edition. So this functionality is available. So let's go and move forward with our demo. So what I'm going to do is now changing this lightweight to full mode. So let's do that. It's going to take a couple of minutes and it should light up the features that are not available in here. So if we okay, so if we go here and we'll refresh it, those will be available once the full mode is done. Another thing, let me look at some comments some people have here. Can I see the chat? If we have more than one VM with SQL Server configured, you means what, more than one cluster? Is there anything to be aware of? No, in the DR and HA, no. You just each node will have their own IaaS agent extension. the question is what happens when you have multiple VMs, multiple SQL instances on one Azure SQL VM. So that I have not been able to find the answer for, but so far, what answer I can give is that only one instance per Azure SQL VM is supported with IaaS agent extension, but I have not gotten a good answer. Because what happens when you do the bulk registration, I have not shown you that. Okay, let me show you that also. So let me go to this view. Here you see this automatic SQL VM registration. So when we do this, then all the existing VMs, which does not have the IaaS agent extension, which are in your subscription, right, will get this extension in the lightweight mode. And all the new VMs that will come in future will also get it, right? So I lost the thought. Uh, Yeah. So all the new, so if you have a VM and if you have a multiple instances of SQL Server on that, which instance will get default? I think default instance will get the agent, but what about the other instance? So that part I have not even figured out yet. Uh, but- so we are also learning, and sometimes product team is also working on few things that they cannot disclose because it's in the works. So those things are also, the reason could be that one. So here, if you see here, the full mode is done for this one in this view. If we go here and if I refresh, okay, so this is all available now. You can see that all of them, all the features are available. What I can do, I can go to SQL connectivity. I can change it to the private or local or public. You have on internet, I kept it private. This port, or you want your own a SQL port, you want to change it. SQL authentication, I enabled it. It is enabled. Key vault integration. um, it's if I want to bring my own key, it's for that. If I want to do the encryption with my own key, otherwise, Microsoft already does the encryption with Microsoft key. And Microsoft is responsible for rotating it every 90 days, right? And other things we can do here is, if I go back here, I can choose from here as well. Patching schedule, you can say, okay, enable patching. And then you can say, okay, you want the maintenance window to be daily, or every day you want the maintenance window, or just one day, maybe Sunday, and then pick the start of the time when your maintenance window should start, 11 p.m., 12 a.m., whatever time you want to start, and how long your window should be. So this is 60 minutes, 1 hour, maximum I think is 3 hours. You can go, you can choose your maintenance window. Other thing, you can do the backups. You can enable the backups, and it's by default, it is the retention is 30 days, and you can change it, 1 day to 30 days, how long you want to retain your backups. And then you have to provide the storage account name. Once I have all this storage. So you already have a Azure blob storage, you give the storage account, and then you say you want to encrypt your backups also or not. So then you say, yeah, enable it. So then the backup encryption, if you enable, you have to provide the password, and you have to remember that password. If you forget that password, then you cannot use that backup. So you want to backup system database, by default it is disabled. Enable it if you want to. Let's enable configure backup schedule. So automated means the PaaS one, that once a week full backup, 12 hours differential backup, 5 to 10 minutes uh, transaction log backup. If you want to create your own schedule, so you have an option to do the weekly backup, full backup. This is full backup, or daily. If you say daily, then you pick the time of the day when it will happen daily, right? And what window you want to give it. What is your maintenance window? Your maintenance window is 4 hours maybe. In 4 hours, if backup finishes, that good. Otherwise, my production time is beginning. So your backup will not finish. So this is what you can control. You can go from 1 hour to 23 hours, right? So daily, weekly, what time it starts, how long the maintenance window, and then the log backup, the frequency can be 5 minutes to 60 minutes. You know, how frequently you want your log backup. And differential backup will happen every 12 hours. So they have no option here for that. And if I, excuse me, high availability, I cannot do because my VM is not part of the, excuse me. My VM is not part of the domain. I have not joined it, so this is not available. I can automated patching. Enable automated patching. I think I showed you that already. Cancel that, and you can do the Azure Key Vault integration. If you have a Key Vault, you say, okay, I have a Key Vault, just provide the Key Vault integration. You can bring your own certificates and you can bring your own keys. Yeah. So all these things can be done here. So, and we looked at the view. Now let's look at the VM. So if we refresh the service here, if it is called something else. Oh, here it is. I think I was not looking at this. So these are the two services here. I don't know which one we did the manual one. I think it already turned into the automatic to manual. These are the two services that run, and they are run under this account, SQL IaaS agent extensions. So now the last part is left, how to remove this agent, right? So I just have to say remove AZ SQL and just give the VM name and which resource group it is. Simple as that. So this is the VM, that VM is here. I'm going to remove it from the agent completely. Right? You cannot downgrade it. It's in full and it will be just issuing the command. Again, you know, it will take a couple of minutes. And if we go to this view, after a couple of minutes, it will be this will be gone from this DA target to VM will be gone from here. While this is happening, I'm going to show you from here. Yeah. Here, sorry. So if we want to do the automatic registration, you only have to click on it. You have to choose the subscription. This is the ROM subscription, because if I want, I mean, I have two subscription, right? So I will choose the other one, which have my VMs in there. This one. Yeah, and I have to accept the term and I say register. So that means all the existing VMs. So right away, if I do that, those other VMs that don't have the agent, they will not get the agent right away. So in the back end, once a day, a job runs at the back end of the Azure, where the Azure SQL VM is, and it looks at all the VM in your subscription, because you have turned this or you have accepted. So you have given us permission to check on your VM, and we will see if the SQL binaries is there. That means SQL Server is installed on that VM. Then we will go in there, because that VM could be anything, right? Yeah. So what permission we have? You have said that we can install the IaaS agent extension on your VMs. So once a day, a job goes and it checks all your VMs. If SQL Server agent is IaaS agent is not installed, it only look at those servers and check the SQL binaries is there or not. If it finds the binary, it will install the IaaS agent in the lightweight mode. That's what it does. Okay. So, and then you can, if you don't want, you can just disable it. So it's done from the same view where you are seeing the views here. Let's refresh it. That server is gone. DA target 2 VM is gone. And if we come here, the command is completed. If we try to look at the Azure SQL VM, instead of 3, we will see our, yeah, so DA target 2 VM is not there, right? Okay, and then if we go to the services here, we have 2 services here running on this one. So now if I refresh it, those services are gone. It's totally not there. But the login remains. Login doesn't go. So if you want to, you can just remove it or disable it, you know. So that's all I have. Any more questions? Anything? Thank you for joining in. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for presenting, Ameena.
Yeah, thanks, Ameena.
Welcome. Yeah, it's my pleasure. That I gained some knowledge, right? I have to look onto some things to get it. So it's both ways, you know. Thank you so much.
I
Yeah,
have a general question that isn't necessarily related to this topic, but Microsoft in general is. I'm wondering, are they ever going to come out with another version of SQL Server
Yeah, it's
beyond
coming
2019?
2022.
Oh,
We don't know.
yes.
Yeah, we don't know when and what feature will be there, but we just heard that it's coming,
oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all we know.
I haven't heard much, but my guess is if any announcements are going to be made, I would assume them to make it at PaaS or another conference very soon, but probably PaaS is
Yeah.
going to be my assumption. You know, the big announcement most recently was the release of for general availability of Azure Purview, which is our data catalog, data governance, significantly better and improved upon in terms of functionality and governance over Azure Data Catalog. So that's really the big focus right now for a lot of people looking into. But again, I haven't heard anything. I haven't even seen any software or beta releases or anything to play with. But my guess is if they're going to make an announcement, it would be at the PaaS Virtual Summit.
Because I heard, you know, it's just heard. We didn't see anything. I didn't see anything documented or anybody. You know, it's just in the chat. Some of the chat, you know, I think people are saying, and it's like it's a rumor till
Yeah.
it is announced.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
is there another like, you know, is there planning to be another version? I um I absolutely believe that that's happening. It's not like it's going to stay as is, and Azure is going to be the only improvements. So
Well, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? All right. Thank you
cool.
very much. Yeah. Have a good
Thanks,
night, everyone.
Ameena. Thanks, everybody. Everybody have a great night, and we'll see you in a couple months. And hopefully we'll see some of you at PaaS Summit.